What up, everybody, and welcome back to Baz on Blades. My name is Baz, and I talk about blades. We're going to kick off a series on ESEE knives today. You can see, for the first time, I'm out in the field. I'm up in the woods right off of my property, and it's fall. You can see heavy leaf coverage, totally dry on the ground. A lot of down wood, but most of this stuff has been down for a while and it's pretty rotten, so I'm not going to do a lot of cutting tests with these ESEE knives. We're just going to do a basic review and maybe cover one cutting aspect per knife, as I have three ESEEs, and they're spread across the size and weight range to where the usage is more specialized. The first knife that I'm going to cover is the ESEE 3. Now, this is the smallest ESEE knife I have. They do make a smaller knife, but I just don't carry that small of a fixed blade when I'm out in the field. And the reason is, if I lose all of my knives, say, and I've only got my smallest knife, then I want that knife to be of a size enough to where I can do some serious work with it. And with the ESEE 3, you can. Now, let me get my cheat sheet here on my specs. And sit down here. We're going to go over some specs first. Now, just like most ESEE products, these knives are all in 1095 high carbon steel. So you have to take care with them in the field, keep them dry, clean them after use, and keep some sort of oil or rust prohibitor on them. The ESEE 3, like I say, is the smallest ESEE knife that I have. You're looking at a 3.5 inch blade length to the handle scales. The handle length's about 4.5 inches, so overall you're about 8 3/8 of an inch, or 21 centimeters, and the blade stock thickness is 1/8 of an inch. Now, this is a full flat grind. It's fairly thin behind the edge. All of these knives come very sharp from ESEE. The manufacturing is very good on them. They are manufactured in the U.S. by Rowan Manufacturing, and Rowan does a very, very, very good job on these. The fit and finish is all fantastic. The blade grinds are fantastic. Their heat treat for 1095, fantastic. These knives really do hold an edge very well for 1095, but they're not so wear resistant that they're difficult to sharpen. The big thing about 1095 is it's tough. It's impact resistant, and you don't have a lot of issues with chipping, breaking, cracking under heavy use. And for a knife in the field, you're looking at heavy use. Now with this knife, I'm going to use this for smaller cutting tasks. And you can do some fine slicing, some deeper cuts. You could notch with this. It's very good for that. Do your feather sticks with it. Now, I'm not a huge, outdoorsman, survivalist expert, but I can make a fire, guys. This little knife is a fantastic little slicer. If you want small stuff for your fire, then, there's no problem getting that. I'm just shaving off right here. Now, this doesn't look like a real pretty feather stick or anything, but I'm just shaving off shavings right there. If you want to notch with this knife, very easy to do this. It's very controllable. As far as the handle shape goes, it's very comfortable. It gives you a full grip. You do have a forward finger choil, and you can choke up on the blade for very close up, very detailed cutting. Say if I want to do a notch in this piece of wood, I can get right up in here and I can cut a notch in this piece of wood right here, work this notch down, Work it down, work it down, work it down, clear it out, work it down, clear it out, and you know, there you go, I've notched the wood. It's a very, very good knife for that. Now, it's not going to be a chopper. In outdoor use, what I would think this knife is more purpose built for, designed for your small cutting tasks, your fine cutting tasks, food prep. It will be great for food prep. It's a little pointy to me for a skinning knife, but it could be pressed into that surface for game prep and cleaning. It's just a great little knife, guys. Now let's take a look at the sheath. You're going to see a common thread with all the sheaths with my ESEE knives. I have the MOLLE backing on all of my sheaths. Not because of, you know, I'm going to be, you know, military use of this knife at all, but most of my packs, my backpacks, have MOLLE webbing on them. So I can affix any one of these knives anywhere on a pack and be able to carry it in any configuration. It is an injection molded sheath that is on this MOLLE backing. The retention is very good on it. It has a very minimum amount of play in the sheath. The retention, like I say, is very good. You're not ever going to lose this if you carry it in the inverted position. And it does have a secondary Velcro clasp here, which I don't really care for the Velcro. I wish it was a snap like is on the other two sheets that I'll show you with the other reviews for the ESEE 6 and the Hungloss. But this does have a third retention, and that is an elastic strap that will go over and catch the top of the handle here, and then you can have your Velcro strap. That's three-way retention on this. That would make it jump approved if you are in the military. So I'm pretty happy with the sheaths. I love this little knife, and I think that it is one of my favorite field knives. It's not too big, guys. It's not too small. You've got a great section of jimping right here that is just perfectly placed for the thumb. Even if you're gripped up in that forward finger choil for more detailed work. You know, you've got a nice choil area here on the handle to keep you from sliding forward or backwards on the handle. Now this is the mil spec model of the ESEE 3, so it's got the pointed exposed portion of the blade tang here that you can use as a less lethal striking surface. I wouldn't recommend it for hammering anything because it is pointed. It's going to damage whatever you're hammering with it. I don't know if it's pointed enough to use as a glass breaker, say on automotive glass. I've never tried that. But I imagine with the right technique, you probably could pop glass with it fairly easy. Guys, there's so many reviews on this knife out there. Honestly, I didn't know what to do with this review. I didn't, you know, coming out here in the field, it's not a big enough knife to where I'm going to bring it out and start chopping on things. It's not heavy enough or long enough for that. And I wasn't going to carry a bunch of food out here in the field in order to prep out here and just throw away. So, you know, the little bit of cutting that I did, it shows that you can get up on the blade, do some more detailed cutting. And I don't know, guys. I don't know. So let's take a closer look at this knife now. Come on up here to the camera. And remember, guys, I'm having to do one-shot videos here, so I can't edit this stuff, and that's why this is going to be sort of sloppy. But you can see the ESEE 3 here. What you've got is micarta handles that have a good texture to them. For good grip, they are flat. You can see there is a red liner underneath those micarta scales to give it just a little visual pop. You're in a classic drop point, as I said, a full flat grind on that drop point. There is a powder coat type of coating on it, and I used this a little bit today. This is a fairly new knife, but I used it for 10 or 15 minutes on wood, and there's absolutely no wear on that coating at all coming back from the edge. Just sort of wood scraped into the texture. And as I said, there is a short section of jimping here. You have a forward finger choil. You have the finger choil in the handle shape here, and as I said, the impact end of the butt end. The ESEE is the version that's in 1/8 inch stock thickness on the 1095, and with that full flat grind, guys, it gives it a very good, very thin edge. Now this also, as I said, it's fairly pointy, and you can see here, it will catch instantly on anything. It has a very serviceable and usable point for piercing. A lot of people will carry this knife in a martial role, in a defensive or offensive role, as a compact sort of tactical knife, and it's very well suited for that. So, you know, it's got a wide range of use, guys. I'm very, very happy with this knife, and as all the ESEE products, I can recommend any of them. I think that ESEE makes a fine product. They are designed well, and they're usable, guys. They're usable, and they're not too expensive. You're under $100 with a sheath with this knife right here. I think with the MOLLE back-end sheath, that's a little bit of an option. I think I was at $112 for this knife. ESEE does have their no questions asked lifetime warranty, and it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're abusing this knife, it doesn't matter if you're abusing the knife and you break it, they're going to replace it. All right, people break these knives on purpose, doing stress tests on them, and ESEE replaces them. Now, I'm sure they don't want to, but they do, guys, and you know what? That's a hell of a warranty. But there is no warranty better than that, unless there's a clause in it where they'll come to your house and pick it up and give you a new one in person. Now, I don't think they do that. You've still got to send it in, but that's a hell of a warranty. I don't see where you could do any better than that. And you know, the fit and finish is good. The fit and finish between the handle scales and the tang of the blade is tight and well done. There's no gaps. There's not really any nail catch anywhere. You're in Torx head hardware to hold the scales on. They can be replaced. There are aftermarket scales available for these knives. And basically what they do is, instead of a flat slab type of profile, they give you a more rounded profile with sort of a Coke bottle palm swell profile. And you know what, in the ESEE, I'm pretty comfortable on this knife for the size, the width of the handle, and the way I'm going to be using it. That flat profile suits me personally. Now, you may like a little bit more rounded profile, and that's fine. As far as where to buy these, I buy all my ESEE products in one place, and that is the knifeconnection.com. I have bought all of my ESEE stuff there, and will continue to buy all my ESEE stuff there. They are very well known as an ESEE dealer. They have exclusive stuff from ESEE. The Knife Connection is also the place that makes the best aftermarket replacement handle scales. They have Kydex sheath options that are exclusive to them for almost every ESEE model, and it's just a great place, guys. I think that my typical turnaround on an order from them is like 3 days. 3 days and it's to my door. I've ordered all 3 of my ESEE products from them. Never had an issue with them. They have a stellar reputation across the internet. The knifeconnection.com. All right, guys. Well, Honestly, I don't know what else to say about the ESEE 3. It's a hell of a little knife. As small as it is extremely capable, and I think out in the field you're going to find it capable of doing any job within reason. I would say exclusive of chopping with it. And I got to say, you know, if you just needed to chop through single stroke chopping on thin wood, say for your small stuff to build a fire up, it would be perfectly fine for that. You need the feather stick, perfectly fine for that. Notch wood, perfectly fine for that. Sharpen some steaks. I mean, just food prep for your fireside use. Perfect for that, guys. All right. If I missed anything, I'm sorry. As you can see, that's all my notes for 3 knives, and I had to hike out here to get where I'm at. So I didn't bring a lot of material with me, and we're not really going by the format that I typically go by. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Go out and buy you one of these knives. I mean, I can't say anything but good about the ESEE 3. It's got a great sheath with it. No issues there. Fantastic warranty from ESEE. You know, there's just not much else I can say about this except I love this little knife. It is the first layer in my outdoor knife trinity, and all 3 knives are from ESEE. I'm a big ESEE fanboy. I don't make any apologies for that, guys. So check this knife out. Check out the knifeconnection.com. And as always, thank you very much for taking the time to watch one of my videos. God bless all of you, and we will talk to you the next time.